The Detroit Lions 2021 schedule breakdown is here. I'm your host, Dalton Miller, joined as always by my co-host, Ian Cummings, and we're going to get right into it. Once again, we have the Baltimore Ravens on the Detroit Lions schedule as the most difficult game of the season. Is that one that you agree with?
I think the Ravens have to be up there. I mean, that's one of the 3 or 4 teams in the AFC that we were looking at yesterday when we were going over the AFC North and thinking like, hey, this is one of those teams that can go all the way. And that's a team that's very well-rounded. Secondary is very good. They added weapons for Lamar Jackson. I think you have to look at them as a team that's going to give the Lions a lot of trouble. I would also look at the Rams, and I think that's an intriguing storyline too. Matt Stafford going up against his former team. How is he going to fare with 𝗠𝗢𝗥𝗘 as his head coach? I think that's another very good matchup for the Rams to the Lions. Let's be honest, Lions fans, I don't think you're going to compete this year. And it's tough because you guys have been waiting a while. I've been waiting a while. I live 15 minutes from East Lansing. You know, I'm tuning into those games every Sunday. I'm hoping for something, but I think it's going to take a few years. But I do think that those are the teams that are going to give the Lions the most trouble. If Dan Campbell is trying to steal a few wins, if he wants to do that, the chances might be a little lower there.
Yeah, I think at the Browns in Week 11 is another one that I kind of circle and think that's probably not a game that you expect them to probably even compete in. I mean, when we look at the Browns, we think that they're probably a top 5 team on paper, at least. I think that they are a super dangerous team as long as Baker Mayfield can kind of, take it to that next level or play the way that he played last year because they have improved year to year. What game do you sit down and think, I know that you live right by there and grew up in that area, but what's one game where you got to circle it and be like, I got to watch this football game?
Honestly, the Rams is definitely one, and I already brought that up. But again, it has to be reiterated. It is going to be very interesting to see because as a Lions fan, for the last decade, Matt Stafford has been synonymous with the Detroit Lions. Okay, so now he's in a different area. How is he going to fare? And that's going to be, maybe people won't say it, but it's going to be a big referendum on how the Lions have been for the past 10 years and where they need to go, right? Because Matt Stafford is such a great talent at the quarterback position. He wasn't succeeding here. If he finally hits the ground running with the Rams, then that is a big, that's you as a Lions fan saying, man, we really need to clean some stuff up. So I think that is definitely a game to watch. Also, I think you just have to look at, the NFC North is always so fun, honestly. It's like the Big Ten, and it's in Big Ten country, so it makes sense. But any one of those games, for the Lions, it's just hard, because they're not expected to be a playoff contender. So I think you have to look at storylines, and Matt Stafford coming back, playing his old team, that's definitely one you have to watch.
Yeah, this one's easy. It's the Rams. That's the big game of the season for the Lions. And like we said, we don't really expect them to compete, especially against the Los Angeles Rams, but this is Jared Goff playing the team that did not want him.
Yeah.
All right. The Rams were looking to replace Jared Goff. They ended up doing it, getting Matthew Stafford. And like you said, Matthew Stafford is somebody who has all the physical talent in the world and has never been able to put it together in Detroit. If he goes and has success in Los Angeles, it's going to tell you a lot about how this Lions franchise has operated over the past.
Exactly.
I don't know, my whole lifetime, really.
Yeah.
And
it's rare. It's rare that you see these two teams like this swap veteran quarterbacks, right? So it's going to be really fun to see hey, who was the winner? And I know you can't proclaim winners just from this one matchup, right? But it's going to be fun, the storylines that are coming from that. So I think that will be a fun one.
What do you think the defining game of the season is for this football team? Is there one?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know. Defining, again, it's dependent on whether you're competing for a playoff spot. And I don't really think that they're going to be competing. So it's definitely tough. But there are a few games that you can look at and say, hey, if the Lions can at least compete, we know that, at the very least, if Jared Goff can be respectable, if he can use his weapons, I know TJ Hawkinson is going to be big. If he can stay healthy, if he can be a safety blanket for Jared Goff, that could be a big development for this offense, at least trying to find a little bit of chemistry because we know they don't have a lot of wide receiver. They have my guy Amon-Ra St. Brown, but you need more than that, right? So I think looking at the games where they might be challenged on the defensive side of the ball, the games like the Ravens, the Bears with that front seven, they can at least provide some pressure for the Lions. Looking at the Rams as well, that's another one that kind of fits that definition as well. The Browns for sure. The Broncos have a very good defense as well. So looking at those defensive games, you look at the Lions, they need to generate more production from their weapons. And that offensive line too, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow just got extended. Vaitai moving to guard. How is it all going to factor in? How is it all going to settle? So I think looking at those defensive matchups, those really big-time defensive matchups, those are the ones that I think will be most defining for the Lions, who are going to need to improve offensively over the next 2 years.
What do you think are the realistic expectations for this football team?
I don't know, man. I'm excited, right? I mean biting those kneecaps.
They're the Vegas favorites to be the #1 pick next year, right?
Yeah.
So that's the type of team that we're looking at. My thing is this isn't a quarterback. Like Jared Goff, obviously the Rams no longer wanted him, but he's not a bad quarterback. All right. Jared Goff is not bad. He's limited in some of the things that he does, but he is a good passer. I'm very interested to see how they are able to perform with the current roster setup that they have, because he has had wide receivers and a good offensive scheme when he was at LA. I'm fascinated to see how this swap ends up. Lions fans, let us know how you feel in the comments. Let us know, what is the most difficult game on the schedule? What is that one game that you guys are circling? And what is the defining game of the season? Because for me, the defining game of the season is the one they're going to be playing on national television on Thanksgiving. Best day of the year, food, family, football. Let us know in the comments which one of those three things you love the most.